Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm Nathan with the ebookreader.com. So for this video, we got the Likebook Mars to review. This is the first Likebook to run Android 6.0, and it's also the first e-reader to have a octa-core processor. So it's kind of got a design similar to the Paperwhite, except on the bottom here we've got headphone jack and a micro SD card slot. So it's got the 7.8-inch e-ink screen with 300 ppi, so the text does look nice and clear. It does have that indented screen. It doesn't have like the flush glass screen like the Kobo Aura 1. So it comes with this sleep cover that automatically turns the device on and off when you open the cover. So it's also got the dual colored front light here. So you got the cool colored front light and the warm colored front light. It is a little bit warmer in person. The camera kind of adjusts a little bit. But you cannot like blend the colors like you can on Kobo's devices. You can kind of blend the warm and the cool color to get exactly how you want. So this one, it just has the option to switch between the cool color and the light color. So I do like the brightness levels that are offered on this. The low brightness setting, it's very minimal for night reading. I do like that. Some devices are just too bright at the lowest setting, but this one doesn't have that problem. So from the quick setting menu here, you've also got the volume adjusters. You can see because it has Bluetooth and it has that headphone jack to listen to music. It doesn't have any text-to-speech functions built in. You may be able to install some though. Up here on the menu bar, you've got the A2 mode. So A2 mode is not really good for text reading like this. You can see lots of after images, but it works well for scrolling. If you're using any kind of app that needs scrolling, turn on A2 mode, and then you don't have to worry about the screen constantly flashing. So this is a look at the Likebook's home screen. Up here, it does have a little thing that shows you like how much you've been reading, but it only applies to the default app, reading app. So you got this little quote section as well. You got the different sections here for your books. There's a couple different layouts if you just want to use list view. If you hold down on the title, you get extra information. You can actually choose which app to open it with. So I like co-reader a lot better than the built-in reading app. So you can set this up to work with whatever reading app you want, and you can just tap the cover and it'll open in that reading app, which is nice. So this is a quick look at the built-in reading app, which I don't really like because it messes with the book styling. But you do have the option to load your own fonts, which is nice. Just create a folder in the root directory, and you also have the option for bold and italic. You can customize how bold you want the text as well with the contrast adjustment feature. But this app, it just doesn't handle formatting very well. As you can see right here, like the spacing is just really bizarre. And I really dislike how it adds extra space between paragraphs. You can't fully get rid of that even if the book doesn't have it to begin with. But so like I said, you do have this contrast adjustment right here. So if you want to make the text bolder, and then it has a separate dial for pictures, which is kind of interesting. It doesn't have that for PDFs though, but yeah, with ebooks you do have that option. Then you have some of the different spacing options in here. Again, they're kind of strange. The default settings were really bizarre, but I kind of cleaned it up as best as I could, but this is as close as I could get. It does have really strange, like how it spaces the punctuation in addition to the words. Really strange app. I prefer co-reader. You can install this. It's not perfect either, but I mean, it's definitely a step up from the default app in my opinion. You got a little bit more control of the styling. The dictionary works better in this. You can load in different dictionaries. You can also do the swiping motion to control the front light if you use two fingers at once. It's got some cool little shortcuts with this app. I'm not really going to get into too many details with that because it's not a co-reader review. But you can check this app out if you want. I do like it. It definitely works better than the built-in app in my opinion. But that's kind of the cool thing with this device. It runs Android 6.0. You can install apps. So apparently it comes with Google Play pre-installed right now. When I got it, it didn't have Google Play. I was using the APK Pure to install apps. So I showed an earlier video with the Kindle app, and then like 2 days later, they updated the firmware on this device and it made it run smoother. So if you look at my older, the Kindle review app on this device, it has a little bit more like a sliding effect when you turn pages. They clean that up a bit. It actually refreshes the screen better now. As far as the Kindle app goes, it's actually pretty usable. Stuff works pretty quick. I mean, you select the dictionary and then you can open up your Wikipedia entry, and you can also, if you hit like the go to Wikipedia, it'll open up the web browser. And that wasn't like staged at all. That was actually how fast it loaded. I was really surprised by that. This wasn't in cache or anything. That actually just loaded that straight up that fast, which is impressive for an ink device. And then the web browser, it does work pretty well. I mean, the scrolling, it goes into that mode where it scrolls smoothly. So the web browser actually works pretty well on this device. Definitely a lot better than like the Kindles or the Kobos. So yeah, I mean, it's still browsing on ink isn't anywhere close to like as enjoyable as it is on a tablet, but it does work well here. The text is nice and clear and in focus. So it definitely has some advantages over some other devices with that as well. So In regards to the specs, I loaded up this app just to test this. It says it has a 1.4 gigahertz. The processor's clock speed, I don't really know what it is. They say 1.5 on their website. Then like some apps say it's 1.2. This one was saying 1.4, so you can see the specs listed on here. So here's a quick look at the Comixology app. When you're loading in third-party apps, you're going to get like, you know, it's going to be iffy on how well it works with e-ink because obviously none of them are designed with e-ink. Like I was showing in the Kindle review earlier, like when you're reading comics with this app, it has that annoying refresh. So, I mean, you're not getting as clear as pictures you are like when you're with the Kindle where it fully refreshes the screen. So, I mean, it just sort of depends on your use case scenario. I mean, that this app does work, comics do work, but I mean, the flashing, it isn't ideal. Definitely isn't as clear as it is like on a dedicated e-reader, but I mean, it is an option with these different apps. Again, here's a look at the APK Pure app. It doesn't quite like scroll as well as you would like. Sometimes, you know, I mean, it's just a lot of flashing. It's sort of like these lists aren't so bad, but just kind of got a thing you got to expect with running Android apps on an e-ink e-reader because they aren't designed for it at all. So here's a look at the settings menu, a real quick look. You got the fast mode with the page turns. You got some different options in here. It does have like a lock screen password. You can set how long you want the screen to time out, stuff like that, the usual. You got the app section in here. Then there's also like a fuller version of the settings menu, the Android settings menu here. All right, so here's a quick look at the fast mode for turning pages with ebooks. It does go very fast. You know, I mean, there's a little bit more after images when you're using fast mode than when you're using normal mode. But it just sort of depends on if there's like more images, you don't really notice it. Here's a quick look at a PDF. Let's just load in this typical PDF I show in lots of reviews, just kind of keep it consistent. So the PDF features on here, they're okay. There's not a whole lot of features. You can do pinch zooming, but what's kind of odd is you can't scroll once you pinch zoomed. You got some different kind of cropping options in here. You do have a custom crop dial, so you can set up the page how you want it to zoom in here. And then you've also got like the fit to width, the fit to height, the usual. And then again, you can't scroll once you're zoomed in like this. But it does maintain the zoom level, so when you turn pages, it stays that level. And you've also got like contrast adjustment tool in here. So, but it's a kind of basic app. I mean, you can't even touch hyperlinks. That's one thing that always drives me crazy with PDF apps that don't have active hyperlinks. So you can't select links at all. Yeah, it's kind of a problem if you're reading PDFs. Also, if the dictionary isn't in English clearly, and it doesn't select the word a lot of times when you're using PDFs, it'll just like select the letters. So there's also this contrast adjustment tool right here, but it makes the images a lot darker, as you can see. So like when we were looking at the ebook app earlier, you could adjust the text and the images separately. Oddly, you can't do that with PDFs. It has this grayscale and brightness setting. The brightness is really bizarre because all it does is make the background darker. I really don't see any use for it. As you can see here, the background's a lot darker than it was when we started. So yeah, I don't know why that would provide any advantage, but I guess you got that option. So as you can see, you've also got landscape mode down here. There's table of contents support, and you've also got the sections in there for your bookmarks, underlines, which is their version of highlights. But another annoying thing is there is no way to go back. You hit the back button, nothing happens unless you're just using the dial. But anyway. You can also connect a keyboard onto this device if you wanted to do some typing. It helps to have an A2 mode. It's a little bit smoother. Obviously works with Bluetooth. This is just a cheap Bluetooth keyboard bought off Amazon for like $10 a long time ago. Not all the shortcuts are working on the keyboard, however, but it does work as far as like the responsiveness is quick when you have A2 mode turned on. When you turn A2 mode off, it kind of does the flashy thing, where it's a little bit more jagged, and you turn it on, it's a little bit more smooth. So yeah, you do have the options for some different things with an Android device like this. You can use it as a typing device if you really wanted to, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video right here. Check out the ebookreader.com for the full written review. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.